And welcome back. How are we getting on, everybody?
Good.
Good.
Today we're joined by a very talented artist. How about you introduce yourself, sir?
I'm an artist and I live in Mumbai, India. And I'll wait for your questions to come along so that I can discover myself through you. So,
Of course. So let's. I
yeah.
guess we'll start with your name.
Sorry?
I said we'll start with your name.
Yeah, sure.
So
What do you want to know about my name?
no, like how do you say it?
How do you say it? So you say it as Aditya, which means the king, the lord of the sun. It means the giver of life. And if you cannot pronounce it well enough, then it means you can say Adi, which is a short form, which most of my friends and family call.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very unique name actually. That's really cool.
It's awesome.
But
Yeah.
just going back to you being an artist, you have a very unique style. It's very subjective to the viewer. It even goes so far as you don't even name your art.
Yeah.
So why is that?
As I told you before, man, I feel like if I can provoke a thought in the viewer is better than a man coming to an art gallery and just looking at a piece of art and then reading about it, then rather use their mind to it and see what they can see. Because at the end of the day, when we were children, we used to look at the clouds and everyone saw something different. Nobody
Yeah,
saw the same thing. So in that case, I feel like my painting is also very similar. I scribble on a piece of canvas or paper or anything that I have in front of me, and I start seeing things. So if I am in that process, I would like my viewer to also be in the same kind of process as me.
yeah. Which actually leads to a lot of unique designs. We've a mutual friend from Red Ramblings podcast, and you know, rarely ever does he tell me that we need to interview someone, but I could barely get away from him with him saying, "Lads, you just need to talk to this guy. He's an artist. He's awesome. Message him right now." So obviously you
Thank
guys
you.
had a good interview.
Yeah, man, I think so. I mean, I haven't heard it, but yeah, I hope
Well,
so.
I suppose you were there for it. Yeah, but yeah, apparently he loved it. Um,
Yeah.
so I was on your website and I was reading some of your stuff, and you say when you approach the canvas, you have nothing in your mind. You just go at it.
Yeah.
So you kind of just walk up to it and start doodling.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to why do you do that?
I mean, man, the most beautiful things happen without a plan in life. They don't happen, when, I mean, everything spontaneous is always beautiful as long as it comes out. It can be fucking terrible as well, you know. But
Yeah,
I mean, as you know, the beauty when the beauty of creation can only come when you're spontaneous. The difference, what I say between an artist and a painter is that an artist will always go. I feel like I am an artist because I have a conversation with my piece. I don't let it be only my words.
yeah,
I say something, then the canvas says something back, and then it's to and fro. It goes
yeah,
like that. Other than that, a painter will always have something in mind. He'll sketch it down. He'll sit with it. You need to create life in that moment while you paint.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm
Um,
saying.
yeah, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Obviously not an artist myself, but I understand what you're on about. Those pieces behind you are those yours?
Yeah. Everything's mine here, man.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. Thank
Actually, as
you.
far as I know, Red now has one of your paintings behind him at all times in his
Yeah,
art cast.
he has a print of my painting. The
Yeah,
painting's here, but yeah, he has a print of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
yeah. It's obviously that good, but yeah, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
What have you always been painting? Have you always been drawing? Like, what got you into this kind of?
Nah, man. So, my art teacher in school, he didn't really like me. So, in that sense, I didn't really like art after. So, what happened was, in the old days, when I was in school, they used to ask us to you can be free, you can do whatever you want, you can express yourself. So I was so frustrated with that man that I went out and I literally told all my friends to stamp on my paper, and then I gave it to him. And eventually, of course, I failed, as humbly as I can say it. I failed in art. But what happened later, say when I was 18, I was scribbling on a piece of paper, and my friend told me I had nice lines. And at that time, I didn't know what that meant. And he told me to go to a art shop and get yourself some charcoal and go home. And I was very, I always try new things. I don't stop myself from trying anything new. So
Yeah.
say if it's an acting class, if it's a, guitar, piano, anything, singing or anything like that, I've been doing that since I was a child. So I went to the shop, I got something back, and I sketched something. And my dad came home and he asked me where I bought it from. So I said I made it, and then after that, I mean, yeah, after it all started as a hobby, obviously, but it never left me after.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do it as a career now, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, which is very fortunate. A lot of artists don't actually get to make a full-time career out of it, which is unfortunate. There's a lot of
yes,
talent out there that doesn't get used to its full potential.
yeah.
But yeah, so your teacher didn't like you at all, so you kind of went fuck you and did it
Yeah.
good. Like you
I
didn't.
didn't go fuck you to him. I mean, I
Yeah,
went fuck you in my assignment, and I said, "Yo,
yeah,
bro, this is art. This is my art. If you're saying that you can do whatever you want, art is freedom. At the end of the day, I did my piece. You can't fail me for that, too. Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, I love him now, though.
yeah. Because obviously you do it now just to spite him. But you know, art as a subject is definitely a tricky one. Uh, I know we have it in Ireland. I don't know other European countries that do it as much as we do. But you know, the idea that the teacher is grading you on what is considered to be good, like it's only from their perspective.
Yeah,
You're getting one person's perspective on what art should be versus, you know, say the three of us or a group said what the standard was.
yeah.
So
I
art as a
mean, they can't.
subject in
I
Ireland is
mean,
weird.
if I mean, they have to pass and fail you, right? You need to be graded in school in some way. So
Yeah,
they need to have some way of telling you if you're doing it right or wrong. So
yeah,
either take art completely off, the surface of education, or I mean, incline it in such a way that there's literally no wrong or right, you know?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And obviously you're an artist. Like, what would you do if you were in charge of that? If you said, "All right, lads, we're gonna do art differently. Here's how we're gonna do it."
Bro, I just have fun, man. I just make sure. And for people who don't have fun can go home. People who have fun with art will become artists at the end of the day or
But how,
paint.
how would you
Or
grade it?
I wouldn't grade it. That's what I said earlier. It doesn't need to be graded. Art cannot be graded. So that's why I said that either have art out of the education system thoroughly out, or I mean, just don't grade it at all. I
Yeah,
wouldn't grade it, man. I can't. I am no one to judge. If I judged myself in the start, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
yeah.
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 Well, I I understand that perspective, but I do think to encourage people to do it, you have to make it, you have to reward it. So if I have to do 6 subjects, which is what I have to do in Ireland, I wouldn't say, "Hey guys, just go at it and good luck." I think there has to be some way of grading it. Maybe like how they explain it themselves would be super relevant to it, but definitely the way we have it at the moment isn't the
Dude,
best.
but when it comes down to grading it, it comes down to the same path that you're going to take another artist to, and all the 50
Hmm.
of them. If you see a genre in music, you see so many people in hip hop doing extremely well, right? In art, if you see people, if he's an impressionist, there'll be at least two or three. It's not about
Yeah,
100 or 200 or 300 people who are, and people listen to that kind of music. So if you want to do something, or if you want to be an artist, the first thing that you have to do is be different, and that
Yeah.
cannot happen by grading someone, right, through another person's lens.
yeah, I get you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, definitely changed my perspective. um,
Thanks.
yeah, I wouldn't talk about it with music as well, but you said earlier you dabble in music too. What else do you like?
Yeah.
You're obviously not like just sitting in there painting all day.
No, I am sitting in here painting all day. I'll just
Oh,
show you like this fucking
Oh wow.
filled, yeah, just filled with work on my walls and like
It's very impressive.
all around. I am sitting at home painting all day. It's
You
like
said you said you dabbled.
I mean, people ask me, man, don't you get bored of painting? And then I ask them, don't you get bored of like playing the PlayStation? You know, I
Very
mean,
good
it's the
point.
same thing for me, man. It's just fun, it's exciting, and I love doing what I do, so I do it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get to do
which
it for a
is
career. You
kind
know,
of the way to have it.
people who have passions like yours that don't get to pursue it as a career. You're one of the lucky ones. You know?
Yeah. Uh,
Man, but yeah, that's extremely true, and I would also put my luck in a perspective of with a lot of hard work on the side,
Yes.
you know, and
Yeah.
like going to people, meeting people, showing them my work. It just not come out of nowhere, you know. And you
No,
need
no.
to know that I can be blessed to have a little bit of a gift that I do
yeah.
in a way. Everyone does, but I found mine, so I'm lucky enough in that perspective. But it doesn't mean that I mean I'm struggling too, man. It doesn't mean that I mean who's gonna buy art in a fucking pandemic, right?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Except for Red,
Yeah.
except for that dude. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Well, he's a character. No,
Yeah, for sure.
I love that guy. It's so cool what he does. He interviews people from all across the world. But like I've said to him a couple of times, you probably thought about this too. There's 195 countries in this little blue marble of ours. What does he do when he hits them all?
It's the big question.
Like he's gonna eventually get to all these countries, or when he can't get a North Korean on, and he can't get like someone where he obviously can't talk to them. Like, what does he do?
Contacts Kim for a podcast.
Yeah, Kim, are you still alive?
I'm
Or
sure he'll do something. He'll start picking out on like states, and then he'll do little villages. He'll figure it
Yeah.
out, I'm sure.
yeah, I think he actually wanted to do something like that, go into small
Yeah,
areas. Because I know
yeah,
at the moment he's hitting on like uh, Wales, Scotland, Cornwall,
yeah,
blah blah blah.
Mm.
But it's not a bad idea. He could even do Northern Ireland.
yeah.
But we're the best Irish. No. So yeah, you live in India, and there's a fucking huge population. You guys
Yeah.
like to do a bit of business, but how's the COVID response been?
Man, I mean, for my family, in that sense, it's been not that bad because none of us have got it. But
That's good.
I mean, in the slums and everything, I think that it's extremely controlled because I feel like most of us are already immune to it. I mean, not most of us, but people living in slum areas because they've gone through much more harder shit than COVID, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they go there
you
and like
definitely
they
have a
live in
strong
such
immune system.
they live in such dirt and they'll drink dirty water and you know that like a man can die from that in 1 second. So if they live like that, I mean, COVID is like I don't know, just a sneeze maybe for them. But like yeah, other than that, it's pretty bad, dude. We have around I think 70,000 to 80,000 cases, but I think I read somewhere that only 0. I think 2 or 3% are on ventilators. Other than that, it's pretty fine.
2 or 3% what?
Are on ventilators, are very
On
extremely
ventilators.
severe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I'm
well,
not sure about that. I read it somewhere. So
No, that's fine. Yeah.
yeah.
well, I suppose I've never thought about it like that. If you're living in an area that's not doing too well, your immune system will be a lot more powerful than someone like me who lives a very happy home,
Yeah.
very
No, for
happy.
sure, man. You come to India, you'll be in the toilet for a long time.
Yeah.
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 You'll be shitting
Yeah.
bricks, man.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. That might be why, like, some places you think would do terrible with it have been doing okay with it. Like, a lot of Africa has been fine, and they were very confused as to why for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, how did it demolish, like, Italy, where people are pretty healthy? Like, they live in the
Yeah.
Mediterranean, so they're healthy as is. But then in different parts of Africa, they were barely even noticing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You wonder.
Makes
Um,
sense.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's been a weird time, man. How long have you been in lockdown, or are you in lockdown?
I mean, I was in lockdown for I think 2 or 3 months, and other than that, Mumbai just opened recently. I think a week or two ago, and people are going out, man. I mean, I went for dinner and shit like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, gyms
That's
have
nice.
opened, theaters are opening, everything's better
That's
slowly.
good.
Yeah, we gotta hope for some kind of normality at some point.
Yeah,
It is
this
certainly
is
a
yeah,
weird
this
time.
is the new normal, man.
Yeah. Um, definitely a weird one.
Did you see that? I know Hollywood are now making a film about COVID, but
Oh,
like
I'm sure.
it's in the future, which is like capitalizing off what we're going through right now is a bit. It's like
It's a bit dodgy. Like it's
oh,
too soon. Like would made a 9/11 movie right after 9/11 or during like during it.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's very weird.
Yeah. It's like making a World War II movie during World War II. It's just like give it some time. You know, you make it a movie about COVID and like we're still here in COVID.
Yeah.
But
And it's fear
what a
factor that'll
world.
play into it, and people want to go see it because they'll think, oh, this is actually going to happen. It's like it takes place in like 2023. They're calling it COVID 23. It's so dumb.
Well,
Very
we've
dumb.
a friend, Maddie Tyres, and she's in a movie that's being done over Zoom, and which is a pretty
Oh
cool
yeah,
concept.
I've
And
heard about this. I've heard about this.
they're doing it where like an asteroid's hitting the Earth, but they're still in or they and they talk about how COVID affected them. Like, oh, we're just out of COVID, and here comes the asteroid, kind of thing. But a lot of places have done this. COVID movies or movies in Zoom.
Mm.
Yeah.
David Tennant and some other guy did it pretty recently.
I don't know that.
That one was well received. But I think after you see one do it, okay, that's very cool. But when you see like tens, hundreds of places doing it, it gets a bit like, okay,
Yeah, I get.
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, my knowledge of India is not too good, to be honest. I know Alexander the Great
That's all
nearly
right, man.
got
You just
there.
need to. This is a country you just need to come and dive into. You know,
Yeah,
you need if
but
you really need to have an experience in life that you never had before, you come down. I'll also be there. I'll take you around. But don't no need to fucking read about India before you come here. Just come here, dive in, and I'm sure you'll leave a changed man.
there's this weird fear, and I think it's very present in Western tourists that if they go anywhere in like say Africa or Asia or even parts of Oceania, that it's just dangerous.
No,
Now,
man.
I know you.
Yeah.
I know it's not, but there is
Yeah.
a fear. Like even going to Turkey, some Europeans get terrified.
Yeah.
Going to Central or even go to Mexico, some Americans are scared of going there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a weird one. We never really get asked for, hey, go on a holiday in India.
Yeah. Don't go for a holiday, man. Go for self-help. Go for some self-discovery. You know,
Yeah.
you don't go for an holiday. Even if you want to go, I mean, we have the best of best, and we have the worst of worst.
Oh, you have
And
the
now,
best
if you're
food.
going to, oh, we have the best. Yeah, for
I ordered
sure,
Indian
man.
food a few minutes ago.
What are you eating?
Oh, I don't know. My parents are grabbing it, and I decided to surprise me.
Joe, you're getting a doner kebab. Come on now, off with that. He's not getting any.
No, I've been here. I have to give a code so we can get a discount, and then they're surprising me. A doner kebab would be nice though. But I think isn't a kebab more of like a Turkish or Greek thing?
Yeah, it's not an Indian. Doner kebab is not. Kebabs are yes. Yeah, it's more of a Arab thing.
Yeah. I know in Greece they're like gyros. They use pork in them rather than whatever the fuck they use in the Turkish ones. I had those when I was in Greece, and that was a unique experience. It just tasted like bacon. It was just it was a good time, lads. I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's weird how many cultural differences there are from us and you, but how similar we are.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, both suffered under the British Empire a long time.
Yeah.
We both got our independence pretty close together. When did India get independence from the UK?
Man, I think 1947 or 1952. I'm not really sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely a weird one because apparently, as far as I know, the idea of India didn't even exist before the British got there. It was a bunch of different kingdoms. But,
Yeah.
And like the thing is, there's no Indian language. It's different languages everywhere. It's a big place.
Yeah.
So what's that like? Like, you speak
I
English
mean,
right now, but what's your
I
like secondary language or your
I
main one?
mean, we all do speak in English, and then we speak in Hindi,
Mm.
which is most of India, I think, speaks in Hindi and English. I mean, we are, I think, the second most largest English speaking country in the world.
Wow.
I think after the United States or after England or something like that. And I mean, we're pretty good at English, man. I mean, people I'm sure from outside are pretty shocked when, we speak well or something like that. And yes, other than that, I was traveling with a friend to the south of India. Man, I felt like I was in another country because I couldn't understand shit. And that guy
But
needed my help, to travel around and like locate. And I was like
yeah.
as lost as him. So that's how it is in different parts.
Well, it's a big place, man. It's a big place.
Yeah,
We live on a
yeah,
tiny island.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a speck. It's a
How,
I'd
speck.
love to visit, dude,
how
sometime.
big is the Indian population? Is it 1 or 2 billion at the moment?
I think it's
It's
1.7 or
yeah.
something.
1.7. Just in comparison,
Yeah,
there's 4 million people living in Ireland.
4 million.
Well,
Tiny.
just five Thomas,
Is
5.3.
it 5.3? It's like, nothing compared to India. It's tiny, but yet our
Yeah,
KFC lines are still miles long. I tell you, man.
Yeah, we definitely live in two different places. Very similar in some points. But we've had this problem in Ireland ever since the British got here, which was 600 years ago, that our native language kind of died. Like me and Thomas speak a little bit of Irish. Most people know their Pupafokal, a few words, but it is a dying language. As a result of British rule in India, has there been anything like that? Like, has there been the
no,
native
no,
dying down?
no, man. No, not like that. But say dying in the upper class, maybe. The Indian language is dying because we're also following the Western culture now. So
Yeah.
it's dying in the upper class, but it's always there wherever it is. I don't think it's going to die so soon. Anyway, we have a lot of uneducated people in our country. So as long as they don't get the education, they don't know English, and like that's never going to die. Especially, I mean, with the cops and shit, man, you need to know your, Hindi and Marathi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering because, you know, it's very much possible like something like that could happen.
Mm.
But you're saying in the upper class it's dying down, but I know in India it's more like
Your voice just cracked again. Can you repeat yourself, please?
yeah, you kind of paused for a second. I mean, this is what happens when you're doing an interview from two different sides of the world.
Yeah.
It's so awesome we can do stuff like that these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, man. True.
Like we would never have met like 50 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure we
Or
meet in the future,
20.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, myself and Thomas would love to go around and see all these cool places.
Oh, I would love
But
it.
in terms of what was I talking about, lads?
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, the upper class and middle class and lower class are very, very obvious in Indian culture compared to other places around the world. And
Yeah.
what do you think that is? Like, you guys are very class based. Like, I had a friend. She's from the town, but her parents are from India. Occasionally, she goes back, and she says like it's very extreme there in comparison to here. Like, you wouldn't know if someone is struggling to keep the lights on here versus
Yeah.
someone who's rolled around in money. You can barely tell the difference.
Yeah. And I mean, you have the richest, you have one of the most expensive houses in the world, which is Mr. Ambani's, which is I think worth $1 billion,
That's a
and
lot.
which is in Mumbai, and across that you'll have people who live just right across, like say like a 5-minute walk will be like people staying in a one bedroom, at least 15 people or 10 people staying in one bedroom. So I mean that's the case right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
we're talking to.
Yeah, but just all the corruption, man. It's
Mm.
that's another long story which can go on another podcast someday.
We were talking about overpopulation yesterday, and it's like it's really bad for you guys out there. Like, you say 10 to 15 people living in like one bedroom. It's horrible.
Bedroom, dude. And that's why, what happens is that India is such a crowded place. Even if you have space, they're so used to living with so many people around them that they'll come next to you. They want, because they've always been with so many people around them. So everything will be very like congested in a way.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely.
Even the cars, the distance is literally like so much. One to the other, the distance of a car is also like so much. It won't be like
Yeah.
normal, dude.
Mm.
Yeah, you should
So-
come and drive, man. I'll give you my car. You should drive around in India and see what kind of a heart attack you get.
Crazy.
I'd love to.
It'll be pure carnage. But are you saying like people are a lot more friendly in India because they live with such a large amount of people?
Man, I feel like India has a lot of heart. It has a lot of culture. It has
Yeah.
a lot of beautiful people. And on the other side, it is not as scary as. I mean, it is. Some of the places are. I wouldn't like to name any. But like some of the places might be. But like if you come to the right places, you meet the right kind of people, which I'm sure I'll make you do, dude. I swear to God, my friends. I mean, I went for a trip to the south on my own. I made a lot of friends from like say England, America, whatever, etc. I got them all to Bombay, and I mean, they've themselves said that they've never met such beautiful people in their entire life. Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, these are the kinds that get you back to noticing how to appreciate the small things, and eventually you learn how to forget them. But if you meet such people, you come back to where you really started to be happy, and you can go again and recreate what happiness might be for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we better start booking plane tickets, Jared.
I don't even think we can leave our own country at the moment.
I don't think we can.
We're that
No, for
hyped.
sure, man. After a few years.
Yeah. We'll wait
Yeah.
till we're
Co-
safe.
Sure. When COVID's over, that'll be about what 5 years from now. I remember
Oh,
trying
God.
to reassure my girlfriend, saying, "Honey, it's only going to last about a month, maybe 3 months." And oh God, do I feel like a fool? It's just ridiculous because like
Man,
Ebola
I
happened.
really thought COVID's gonna disappear in like 2 months or 3 months, man. I'm sure. Did you also?
Oh yeah. Like I
Yeah, it's
thought
hard to be gone.
we were off school. For
Everyone did, right? I thought I was the only stupid one. Man, it's not going
Like
anywhere.
Ebola and Zika virus did not last this long. They never really got far out of their origin.
Yeah.
But here we are now, and oh God. And we should have listened to the people at the time saying,
Yeah.
eventually it's going to be a virus and it's going to get past all this stuff. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like the thing with the Europeans and the Americans, I think it's very selfish, is we didn't give a fuck until it was at our doorstep.
Yeah.
Like
True.
this is my own experience. Like people from my town didn't care until I got into our county, like our region. It was in Northern Ireland first, which is like a separate country, and people didn't care. Not all too much. It was like, okay, it's got even I think even Zika virus got up that far, and then didn't get into Republic of Ireland, and yeah, here we are now, and I know people have had it. Yeah, we know people who've sadly passed away during lockdown, and the toll is not getting any better. Like I don't know what the case is in India, but here we've had a lot of people commit suicide. We've had a lot of increases in domestic abuse and child abuse. It's been a rough old time. It's bringing out the worst in some people, but also the best in others.
Yeah, and it's New Year in like 3 months, man.
Yeah. Hopefully it just literally just dies at that day.
Yeah.
The year changes and it's all fine.
I don't think so. But
I don't think it's going to happen, but let's pray.
You can dream, Jared. You can dream.
I can dream. Yeah.
No.
But going back onto you and your art, which is spectacular. Okay, so What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at me for? I'm trying to get on a more happy topic.
And I'm not laughing, man. I'm just amused.
Yeah. Oh, I amuse you, huh? You think I'm funny, huh? So obviously your art is kind of a bit different to the way it's presented normally. You just go at it. You don't really go in with a plan, and you don't even name it sometimes. So, do you ever get criticism over the way you do it?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, my work is pretty dark. I wouldn't say it's dark, but people say it's dark. But what I say is, it's like a walk at night,
Yeah,
when everything is as beautiful, but there's just a little bit of dim light. I mean, there's no light at all, but everything is the same. It's just that you can't see it unless you really put a torch on. So the torch is your soul, and if you can put that torch on and see the beauty in something, that is what the important part is. Other than that, man, living in a place like India, I mean, where you're judged a lot for what you do. When I tell people today itself that I went to I think, grocery store, and that uncle over there, he asked me, what do you do? So I said, I'm an artist. He's like, what? And he's like, what have you studied? I said, fine arts. So he's like, what? Did you study finance? I said, no, I studied fine arts. He's like, oh, finance. I said, no, bro. I mean, chill. Like, I'm a
yeah.
painter. And like, these people just don't understand how you can make a career out of it. But like, I
I don't
mean,
understand how you make a career out of it. And no offense, like especially in India, I
yeah,
wouldn't think there's like a lot of money in the arts there. That's just cultural ignorance on my part. But like, I normally think of Europeans and Americans being very artsy fartsy, and
yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't
no,
I
man.
wouldn't think of that being the case in India.
No, no, there are a lot of artists in India. I mean, we come from a base where we make the most amount of movies in the world. We
Yeah.
have Bollywood. We have, maybe it's not a pure form of art,
T-series,
but it is more of a commercial kind of space. But
yeah,
in that commercial space, there are a lot of creative people, and there is a lot of creativity in India because of the lesser use of resources also that we have, and what we have to make out of what we get.
yeah,
It's just creative at the end of the day, and it does touch. And I'm sure a lot of lower class families have asked the most beautiful questions when it's not to me but to my girlfriend who was there, because I am mostly silent when my exhibitions come up because I like my work to speak for me. So I mean, the most beautiful, they cry and they come, and they really live it because they've never seen anything like it, so it's very new to them.
yeah,
And yeah, man, so it's you just need to find the right people, dude, at the end of the day.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just going back to you said this guy was your uncle, and he was like very
No, I
judgment.
didn't say. I mean, in India, we call an old elderly an uncle.
All right.
I mean, he was just
Oh,
an old
All
man.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
sorry, my bad.
But he was very judgmental on what you do. Is that a
Yeah,
big thing there?
yeah. I mean, my parents' friends come in sometimes and say, "Oh my God, is your son okay? I mean, why is he painting such dark things?" I like painting whatever is inside me, whatever the darkness or any kind of sadness. I like to let out, so I have the happiness inside me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a form of meditation for a lot of people, but what they don't understand is oh, while you create a waterfall or a sunset, you're taking out beauty. You can be happy for that moment, but the pain that is inside, if you keep inside, you're going to suffer from it someday or the other, right? The anxiety
yeah,
or whatever you're going through.
You're
So that
expressing
is
your
the
way
most
through your paint.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the most pure frustration that you have, if that doesn't come out in any kind of form, then you will be a sadder human being than what I can say I am at this point.
yeah.
Mm.
So in terms of your mental health, it's definitely helped.
Yup, yup, man. I think so.
Yeah. Um. So with regards to the career-based outlook of, I guess, elderly people, that's still a thing here as well. I think that's a thing all over the world.
Yeah, yeah,
As it's unfortunate, like we can't seem to just let people do what they want to do. Like it's not your job to see if they can make a career out of it.
yeah,
Um, I remember getting a bit of judgment for wanting to go into media, but you don't like you realize how much work is in media. It was just that it was kind of artsy fartsy,
yeah,
Mm.
and like a big thing in Ireland is people doing a trade. People like being builders, being carpenters, stonemasons. Like, okay, I'll respect those guys. That's hard work. But for some reason, if it's not like hard physical work, people don't take it as seriously.
Yeah. So what do I have to do? I have to like bang my canvas and fucking hit it and shit.
Yeah, get a really heavy canvas and just be like,
well, yeah,
around.
Exactly. What else am I supposed to do, dude? I run with it, run a kilometer with it, come back, start sweating, and then start
painting. A really good example. I'm studying media studies in college right now, so I'm doing that. I'm going to pursue that as a career, you know. And I live with my grandmother, and whenever I tell her, she always asks me like, "Oh, what are you doing now in college?" So I'm doing media studies. And I'll always get the occasional, "Oh, that's good. Would you not become an engineer?"
Yeah, I'm going to become an engineer just because of that as well. I was looking at doing stuff at loan for media studies.
Yeah. Nah, man, you find the right people, you meet the right crowd, you work hard on what you do, and I think it will reward you at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's a lot of dedication has to go into
well,
it,
in a perfect world, that would happen.
Yeah, you got to make your world perfect.
Man, what a weird world we live in right now. What a crazy world this is, man.
Yeah.
We're talking to you is it Mumbai, you said?
Yep.
And, you know, we're here in the middle of nowhere in Ireland. And we're having these great conversations comparing our cultures and what goes on here. And, you know, we only met for the first time as of the moment this recording started.
Yeah.
Well, we can be so open.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Doesn't feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. But I suppose if I tried to explain that to someone, there'd be a lot of closed-mindedness and like, okay, well, why would you do that? Like, we wanted to talk to you today because you're an artist. We've never spoken to an artist. I have friends who want to pursue art, so maybe this would be a good episode for them to listen to see from a guy who actually does this as a profession and is fucking good at it. And I suppose you just said yeah, because why not? Did you get offered like a lot of interviews or a lot of appearances on podcasts?
Yeah, I do. So I also very humbly come from a background filled with media people. So I do interviews here or there, but you can't be as open as, you know, I try my best to be, but like you always need this huge filter in front of your face, man. There's just a lot of shit happening right now in India because of one actor who unfortunately I knew, but he committed suicide apparently, but now they're saying that it was somebody who came and murdered him because he knew about somebody else's molestation story, and they said that she committed suicide, but somebody threw her off, and these are all political powerful people. So all this shit is going on right now. So everyone needs to be extremely careful because people are going ape shit, man. Especially the lower crowd are like literally boycotting Bollywood, and you know there is not. If you see the trailer of Sadak 2, which is a new movie, I think the first or the second most disliked trailer on YouTube after Baby, I think Justin Bieber. But after, before, but like there's just a lot of like, you should read up about this story, man. His name is Sushant Singh Rajput. I'll text this thing to you. You should just read about it. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Over here in I guess in Europe, we're not hearing about that.
No.
No, it's insane, bro. People are getting caught with weed, and like fuck, all these big actresses and actors are like, you know, they're checking their messages and putting them out in the media and saying that, oh fuck, she's a drug lord, and you know, they start drug mafia. God knows what they're doing.
Christ.
I'll just send it to you. You can have a look at it. Crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it very weird that we know everything going on in the Western culture?
He's stuck, what? Yeah.
It's very weird that we know everything going on in the Western culture. And then they're like, you probably have no idea what's going on over in Ireland. We have no idea what's going over in India.
Yeah. Like my entire newsfeed is the United States election. Yeah. And like what I see, like every day I see about 10 influencers or celebrities saying, go vote. To me, an Irish guy who can't vote in their election, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I think an Irish team played against Arsenal yesterday. Am I right?
Celtic, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
No, you don't watch football.
Celtic,
No.
yeah. Celtic played against Arsenal yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I know about what's happening in Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, bro, you look
that's-
like Ben Affleck, Gerard.
sorry?
You look like Ben Affleck.
You think I
Doesn't
look
he? A
like,
little bit?
you know, it's funny. I got to work with that guy kind of pretty recently.
You look like him, and you look like a close friend of mine. Not close, but a friend of mine. I sent you a picture. You're pretty similar, dude.
And it took you about 40 minutes to figure that out. It's probably just sitting there the whole podcast like, who do you remember?
Why do you think Reds likes me so much, man?
Yeah. There you go. But I guess we got to finish up on an artistic note. So, there's a lot of artists out there who want to make it a career, but you know, besides some gimmicky stuff, it's hard to do. To make it a full-time thing like what you do, what advice can you give to people?
Man, what I did was, man, not listen to anyone. You know, at the end of the day, you are also being a little cynical about the art career that is going to happen. So if I ask them to listen to me right now, it will be contradicting what I'm saying. So just don't listen to anyone, man. Just do what you fucking want to do and just go
Yeah,
for
but
it.
your perspective is different. You're not someone's uncle saying, just go be an engineer. You're an artist.
Yeah.
Talking about art. You know, you actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, man, if you go into this spectrum, which is a whole universe, I mean, what was the first thing that you saw when you opened your eyes? You know, color. What was taught to you? Language is a man-made thing. You know, this is taught by humans. The only thing that you see and comprehended in that state was sound and color. So the most beautiful feelings that come out of you are music and art. So if you can go back, you know, reverse yourself into that space and start creating. And I mean, do whatever you want, man. I'm not going to ask anyone or force anyone to go and be an artist. But I feel like if you start creating, it can be the most beautiful thing. You can literally be reborn. This day I started painting, I think was 7th April. So I have like a rebirth day and I celebrate on that day. Like I celebrate my birthday on that day. Because the day I was born, people made me who I was. So that's not who I am. I am the person who I made after I started painting. Yeah. So just go for it, man. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone. I mean, figure it out, dude. It's
don't listen to the great advice from an artist. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to anyone.
Don't listen to anyone, bro. Go for it. Go for it. And I appreciate what you all are doing as well. I mean, on a smaller scale for sure, but like keep it up. And anytime you need any help or any kind of like advice or if I can like come over and meet you all soon, I would love to do that. And I hope to see you all soon, man. It was a beautiful conversation that I had with you all.
Yeah, we've a couple of friends who are artists, and we might actually direct them onto you if they're interested. Yeah. Bit of advice.
And I'll send you some of my work, man. So I don't think I post a lot on social media. It's only my sketches. I'll forward you some of my work, my paintings, and you can have a look at them. And if you feel like writing about them or anything like that, you can do that.
Yeah.
And any help, I'm always there. And come to India soon.
Of course. So if anyone wants to check you out, where can they find you?
Right now on Instagram, which is Aditiya Singh Art. Which that's my page. Other than that, I'm not anywhere else. So.
All right.
Yeah, and he's got a very interesting page. So if you like this conversation, you like the guy, you know where to find him, check him out. So if you made it this far in the video or the podcast audio version, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell your grandma about the podcast. Take it handy.
Also, big up Red's Rambling. We love you.
Love you, Red.